Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this one, I'm going to show you how to make an easy RPG dungeon pack. Now, you'll notice I've got this kind of checkerboard thing, but every one of these squares, I have it set to match each of these squares. So this is actually my grid. So, what you need to do is, you need to make a grid, decide on your size. I just chose a 9x9 as a quick example, but the bigger you do it, the more you've got to put in the room, but the more room you have. As you can see, a 9x9, it still gives you a pretty good hallway with a double wide wall. What you want to do to make the RPG pack is first make your grid. It's nice to have a couple sizes, but you don't need that. It's just to kind of show you where to paste every square. Then you'll also need a few different variants of rooms. Like this one, I've got a dead end room for, just to mess up players, make them go back. I've got a hallway, a 3-way, a 4-way, then I've got a corner. Those are like the basic ones you need. Then I have one that's got a chest for an item room so I can reward the player. I've got a door so I can teleport them like out of it. I can teleport them to a boss room, wherever I need to teleport them to. Maybe a second floor or something. This one is a staircase with, I put the black block because I like to do teleport doors, but you could just have it connect to another room. You don't have to have the stairs, you don't have to have the doorway. They're just little extra things that'll look pretty cool. Here's a bigger variant. All it is 4 of the squares combined. And this one, I put the spawners as like an example. It could be a mob room where they walk in and they have to fight some goblins. It might be better instead of using mob spawners because they spawn randomly and they can spawn through the walls. If you make a zone that when they enter it, it spawns a certain mob at a certain level or whatever. But if the mobs drop a specific item, they could just leave, come back, and keep spawning and grinding that way. So it's pretty much preference on that. And in this, I made like a big room. It could be a boss room. It could be, whatever you need it to be. I put the big door because boss room was pretty much all I would use it for. But, maybe this is where the prisoner is and there's a jail. Or maybe there's a shop. You pretty much come up with whatever rooms that you think you will need in it. So the only necessary ones are what you want. But, you're going to need a hallway, you're going to need a few turns, so those are mandatory. And to kind of show you how the more detail you put into it, the better it'll look. Like, here's an entrance I made. So I would just take this and I'd paste this like in the side of a mountain or something. And I chose the textures to fit my area. So let's say you build in deserts mostly. All you would do is, instead of putting grass, you would put sand or something. And now you got yourself a desert entrance. It's pretty easy. If you can spare an extra texture for 1/2 block of dirt, that's going to make all the difference because it adds the different levels of dirt, and then the rest of this is full blocks. Now you'll notice I've got like this half block, so when you're walking it kind of bounces. I don't really like that. I know that's on a lot of worlds. But to me, it just seems like it wastes the player's time. Instead of them walking straight, they've got to wait and bump. So, if you are going to put that, try not to put that too much, because that might slow the player down, and I know it's not just me that hates it. It's a couple other players, maybe even quite a few. But anyway, that's how to make an RPG dungeon pack. You pretty much just, once you have all of your rooms, save them as components and then paste them in, place them where you want them to go, and make like a connect the dots kind of thing. It's also worthwhile to add that, like if you made the room with a roof, which that's probably how it's going to be, to mark which way it goes on the roof. So like if this basalt was your roof, maybe take the middle out and put a straight line through it and say, okay, this is a straight one, or maybe it's a turn. That way when you're pasting them, you know. And if it's a treasure chest in the room, you want to put a chest in the middle. Because, again, it'll help you so much knowing, okay, this is where it is. Because that way you don't got to fly inside, guess where you're pasting, paste it in the wrong spot, and mess up completely. It's also good, if you're pasting it inside of a mountain, to paste it in order down here first. Make sure the entrance is sticking out a little bit. And then when you paste it underneath, it's all together. You will need to paste merge if you happen to have like a a room right here, but there's a space on this grid. But if it's a square, you could just paste in, the whole dungeon will be cleared out. The problem with the whole, if you've got one sticking out, if you paste merge, you gotta clear out the whole dungeon of like all the extra blocks. So make sure that when you paste it, try to keep it a square, and try to not merge when you paste it, so you don't gotta go in and break all the blocks on the inside, because that's where like all the mountain pieces would be. So hopefully this video helps you, and I'll see you in the next one.